Hey, how y'all doing out there? I got some old crazy news for y'all. I know y'all heard by now. Sean Kingston got sentenced to 3.5 years in prison, and his mama got 5, so she was more of a crook than he was. But the rumor is he don't plan on doing all that time because he know a bunch of other celebrities out there that's doing the same thing that him and his mama was doing. Matter of fact, they got the scoop from some well-known celebrities, and the rumor is he planned on telling on each and every last one of them. Ever since him and his mama first got caught up, he been plotting and scheming on how to get some reduced jail time.
Rapper Sean Kingston and his mother both taken into custody, allegedly stealing more than $1 million. Thanks again for joining us here on ABC 7, Hulu, and wherever you stream. I'm David Ono.
I'm Ellen Leyva. Sean Kingston was arrested in San Bernardino County just hours after his mother was arrested during a SWAT raid of their Florida home.
And Eyewitness News reporter Ashley Mackey joins us now with more on the charges being levied against the singer and his mom. Ashley?
That's right, Dave and Ellen. Sean Kingston and his mother are both facing several charges related to fraud and theft. On Thursday, we reported that the two were arrested. In an Instagram post that's been since taken down, Kingston wrote, "I'm good, and so is my mother. My lawyers are handling everything as we speak." Well, today, his mother, Janice Turner, stood before a judge. Jamaican-American singer Sean Kingston, best known for his 2007 hit Beautiful Girls, is being held at the High Desert Detention Center in Adelanto, California, after a SWAT team raided his Florida home mansion. It was there in South Florida that his mother, 61-year-old Janice Turner, was arrested on fraud and theft charges. Turner and her attorney appeared before a judge Friday morning. She faces 8 charges, including grand theft, fraud, and organized scheme to defraud.
Criminal use of personal identification information. Count 7, grand theft greater than $100,000. And count 8, criminal use of personal identification information. I do find probable cause.
Kingston, whose real name is Keyshawn Anderson, was arrested without incident in San Bernardino County. He was performing at a park in Fort Irwin, more than 30 miles outside of Barstow. Several items were seized during the raid on his home in Florida. An attorney present during the raid filed a lawsuit against Kingston, accusing him of paying only $30,000 for a 17-foot TV system that cost $150,000.
He has basically a sales pitch that he goes through to defraud people. He induces them into giving him really expensive things. We know that our property is inside this house right here.
Janice Turner's attorney asked the judge to consider dropping the bond amount from $20,000 each count to $10,000 each count. But given that Turner has been charged for similar crimes in the past, the judge found the bond amounts appropriate.
We ain't know him and his mama was gonna be doing fed time, and the crazy part about it is they sentenced her first because it's looking like she was encouraging her son to do the stealing and allegedly do the killing. It ain't like she had a career going. He was her bread and butter, meatloaf and mashed potatoes. She overfed her son. People in Jamaica ain't even shed a tear when she received her sentencing. I still can't believe they gave her a whole 5 years.
Right now, it was sentencing day for the mother of Sean Kingston, who was tied to some fraud cases here by her famous son. Local 10's Sanella Sabovic is joining us live from the courthouse in Fort Lauderdale with what was handed down. Sanella.
Well, Christy, a federal judge sentenced Kingston's mother, Janice Turner, to 60 months in federal prison. And before that sentence was handed down, she did address the court with tears in her eyes, saying that she was sorry and she asked the judge for mercy for her and her son. It's sentencing day for singer Sean Kingston's mother, Janice Turner. Federal Judge David Leibowitz ordered that she spends the next 5 years in federal prison, followed by 3 years of probation.
Anything about the charges?
4 months ago, a jury found Turner and her son, whose real name is Keyshawn Anderson, guilty of 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and 4 counts of wire fraud for their scheme to defraud luxury merchandise vendors over $1 million. Her attorney, Humberto Dominguez, fought for a lesser sentence.
So we have mixed feelings on it. We won on some points and we obviously lost on other points, all of which will be obviously handled on appeal. Overall, you know, the judge tried to do what was right, what was fair.
Turner appeared for her sentencing hearing shackled in a red jumpsuit. She addressed the judge, saying through tears that she was sorry and that she was trying to keep her son afloat. She begged the judge have mercy on them. While Kingston didn't appear in court today, he did write a letter to the judge. Dominguez tells us what's in it.
She's been a great mom, that she's a loving, caring person, just like I said, to, you know, asking the judge to factor in his her age and her medical conditions.
Prosecutors presented additional evidence into record where it was uncovered during a special agent's testimony there were 17 additional victims. That agent said she spoke to those victims and they received fake wire receipts for various luxury goods like jewelry and cars. Some got paid, others didn't. Turner was also ordered to pay victims back. Prosecutors called her a thief and detailed prior convictions, while Dominguez says she got in trouble simply for helping her son.
She's a really caring person. She's helped a lot of people in her life.
A restitution hearing is scheduled for October 16th. As far as Kingston is concerned, he will be sentenced next month by the same judge. Reporting live out of Fort Lauderdale, Sinella Sabovic, Local 10 News.
All right, keep us updated.
It's a shame that his mother was a demon in his life. She wasn't a good influence on her son. If he would have left her alone, he probably would have went on and made billions of dollars. He had the talent, and on top of that, he had mass appeal. People in the Caribbean loved him, people in Florida, all the way up to New York, California. He could have made way more money if he would have just left his mama behind, but she dragged him down, and that's the reason why she got a whole 5 years. Sean Kingston is sentenced to 3.5 years in prison after his mom got 5 years for fraud and schemes. So they figured out who was the ringleader, and that's why he didn't get as much time. And on top of that, allegedly he planned on telling on everybody.
Rapper Sean Kingston getting sentenced to 3.5 years in federal prison today for wire fraud. His lawyers saying this case was about more than just theft.
It was about the fact that he was a 16-year-old who rose to fame overnight and never had any guidance on finances, never knew how much money was in his bank account. Business managers handled that, and some of them didn't handle it properly. So we're here today because Sean still to this day doesn't know how much money is in his bank account and does like to buy nice stuff.
Remember, his mother was found guilty of fraud and grand theft as well. She got sentenced to 5 years in federal prison last month. Prosecutors said Kingston and his mother used his celebrity name to trick luxury businesses into delivering things to them before getting payment. The payments were then made using fraudulent or worthless wire transfers. Kingston and his mom ended up stealing more than $1 million worth of stuff. According to arrest warrants, the pair defrauded a jewelry business, a luxury bed company, car dealerships, and a TV company. Jesse Kirsch is joining us now with more on this outside the courthouse. Jesse, the sentence, it could have been worse, right? The government had asked for more time. What happened in court and what's coming next?
Yeah, so prosecutors, Yasmin, had asked for 60 months behind bars. He wound up getting sentenced to 42 months, as well as 3 years of supervised release. His attorneys have been pushing for him to spend no time behind bars. His legal team arguing that Sean Kingston should have just served time under house arrest, which he had been doing leading up to his sentencing. His attorneys had pointed to several things, including the fact that they say that he had repaid much of what was owed. They pointed to what they say were good works he'd done in the past, including serving meals around Thanksgiving to those in need. But the judge clearly determined that Kingston needed to spend at least some time behind bars. We did hear from Kingston's legal team afterward. We did not hear from Kingston himself because he was immediately taken into custody. Here's part of what we heard from Kingston's legal team.
I think that anybody who buys diamond jewelry, and you all know from social media, I would call it an addiction. Just like people who have an addiction to gambling get a lower sentence, I would say that this was an addiction to nice stuff.
And here's also a look, Yasmin, at some of the figures that have been discussed in this case. And at this point, the amount of restitution is still TBD. There's a hearing set in October, or I should say in October. That is when we are expecting a conclusion to the amount of money that Sean Kingston will still owe, unless there is any kind of agreement reached between prosecutors and the defense team in between between now and then. And that is what played out outside of the courthouse. We're actually in Miami now, so we're in the general area, but that's what played outside the courthouse. Again, we saw Sean Kingston going into the courthouse. He didn't say anything to us when I asked him what he was going to say to the judge, but he did make some brief comments in the courtroom. He made the push to be able to turn himself in, saying he had some medical appointments that he needed to handle before he was taken into custody, but the judge had him immediately remanded to custody. And so now he's going to be spending years now, Yasmin, behind bars.
Jesse Kirsch, thank you. Appreciate it.
Who y'all think he gonna tell on, Beyonce and Jay-Z? You think he gonna get Nas caught up? Nas been around a whole lot of people. Jay-Z, Diddy, Khalees, Beyonce. How come he ain't in the news for nothing? They probably gonna get him next. It's so many people that Sean Kingston can tell on that been stealing the same way he been stealing. It ain't like entertainers making no money. That's why they all on YouTube trying to get a check. They doing regular people stuff. You got celebrities out here door dashing, doing Uber Eats. What's the point of being a celebrity when they ain't cutting no checks? The box office is out of business. People ain't paying that much money to see TV, especially since Tubi came out. What the hell you need Netflix for? All that stuff on Tubi, the stuff you can't find on Prime, it's on Tubi. These people broke, man. Who y'all think he gonna tell on? That's if he planned on snitching, because the rumor is that's what he planned on doing. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, man. I got so much love for y'all. And one more thing before I go, subscribe to my channel if that's what you want.
Subscribe to my channel if that's what you want. But if that's not what you like, then you must be a punk. Hold on now, here we go. Who is this girl? She got that junk in her trunk. Baby girl, back it up.